Unit 4, Session 2, titled When and How to Use Media to Enhance Teaching and Learning of Science. I am your course facilitator, Nihad Goni. In this session, we shall look at when and how to use media to enhance the teaching and learning of science. By the end of this session, you should be able to explain how media would enhance the teaching of science lessons, how you will introduce media in your science lessons. How can a science teacher use media to enhance teaching and learning of science? Using media requires that the teacher or instructor step outside of the verbal expository teaching methods, like the discussion method, among others, and facilitate learning by encouraging students to learn through the media. This approach works best when students are primed. Hence, students should be given enough information about what they are expected to learn. If students are not adequately informed about what they are expected to learn, they will struggle to make the connection between the learning objectives and the media that they are exposed to. Media complements instructor-led learning by encouraging students to read print material or to watch and listen to a documentary or a movie clip. The primary advantage of this approach is that the instructor takes on the role of a facilitator who helps students interpret what they are listening to, reading, or seeing. Also, media can be student-generated. That is, the students can take on the role of the teacher and create content that will engage learners and help them to master concepts. And finally, social media can be used to enhance teaching and learning. One of the ways is by easing communication, using the internet and other resources, and also helping to share information and resources easily. Let us now look at when to introduce media in a lesson. Media can be introduced at different times of teaching and learning. They might be before learning the concept or after a brief introduction, but before you start learning the concept. It could also be after learning the concept, or even before and after learning the concept. Let's look at what each time entails. Before learning the concept, how do you introduce media? Showing media before discussions gives students an image to which they can compare the topics under discussion. This approach allows quick reference to easily recalled examples. Whenever you use demonstrations focused on contrasting cases, it helps students to achieve expert-like differentiation. They are able to analyze cases and find the sharp difference between what they have learned and what the media said. In addition, carefully prepared demonstrations when it is introduced before the concept helps students to generate the types of knowledge that are likely to help them learn from subsequent lessons. When you want to introduce media after a brief introduction, but before you go into learning the concept, What does this stage entail? When you use this method, you provide students with a brief description or capsule of what the media they are about to watch is about, and also what to look out for. And so, it helps them to focus their attention on the salient aspects you want them to consider while watching the media. When you introduce media after learning the concept, it allows you, the teacher, to use the scenes as a case study. This approach will help your students to also develop their analytical skills because they will be applying the concepts learned into contrasting or analyzing the media that is shown after the learning. Introducing media before learning the concept and also after discussing the topic is a very helpful approach because it helps to develop the student's understanding of complex topics. When you utilize the media before the discussion starts, it gives students an anchor to hold on to before the concept learning. Also, it guides students through a description of the discussion of the topic. Also, rerunning the media as a case study and asking students to analyze what they see using the theories and concepts just discussed helps students to further understand some complex ideas introduced to them. And make use of the pause button. Make sure that you punctuate the rerun with an active discussion. At a point in time through the video, pause it. Ask students to call out the concepts they see in the scene. This method will help you to reinforce what they have just learned. Let me give you some tips to use if you are new to involving videos in your lesson delivery. The first one is start small. Find one movie or song or news source and incorporate it into your class. Try it and see its outcome. Then after that, expand it if you become more comfortable. If not, continue trying it with short and simple one source of media. Also, provide a clear link between what you want your students to learn and the media you are using in your lesson delivery. Be very careful to provide the proper learning context when you are choosing the media. Also, be mindful that it takes time to integrate media effectively into a course. This is not educational entertainment or edutainment. It is a conscious effort you are making to use media to enable your students to learn more. Next, make use of the subtitles feature when you are using visual media. This will help focus your students' attention on the words that are being said. It will also help them to build on their vocabulary. Another tip you should note is always be prepared for your lesson. Have a backup plan or a plan B in case your technological equipment fails. This will not disrupt your lesson if there is any fault in your technological equipment. Also, whenever you use a video to teach a lesson, make sure to evaluate students' understanding. Students respond to incentives. So if they are aware that a form of assessment provided of them at the end of the lesson, they will be very much attentive to the video. You may require a form of assessment from them. It could be in the form of an exam, or for them to write a reaction paper, or take a quiz that relates to the media content. As I said, it will help them pay more attention and also learn more in the process. Let us assess ourselves on this session using these questions. 1. Give 2 ways in which you can use media in your science teaching. And 2. Explain when media can be employed in your teaching of science. We have come to the end of this session. In this session, we looked at when and how to use media to enhance teaching and learning science. I hope you've learned a lot. Thank you, and see you in our next session. Bye.